All right, welcome to the channel. My name is Dan, and I own and operate a forestry business here in Southwest Oregon. And the primary focus of my business is fire fuel reduction work. Anyway, today's video is about how you can reduce wildfire risk on your property. So I'm on a job today, and it's a 100-acre ranch I'm working on. Doing fire fuel reduction specifically. Okay, so the way this is going, and this is a kind of step-by-step process of how this work is done. All right, so step one is a crew came through and they cut all the small diameter brush out. Let me see if I can find some stumps. So I'm following up a crew here. And it was, I don't know, it's like 30 or 40 guys came in and they just cut everything small, anything under 8 inches. So, like this guy, and they left these logs, these 8-inch logs. Here's some more. This is from them. So I was hired by the property owner to follow up from the work that they did. So then I'm in here right now taking out hazard trees, and that's basically any tree that is standing dead. So around here in Oregon, it's pine and fir and madrone, mostly species like that. So I've been on this area. This is around 5 acres, and I've been taking out all the dead trees. So it's basically, you just cut the trees down. I buck them into logs. I make log decks, and then I come through and chip up as much of the brush as possible. Gotta make these little piles. Anyway, so that's kind of the basic process, and I just work by myself, and I use 2 pieces of equipment. Well, I use hand tools like chainsaws and stuff, but my main 2 pieces of equipment is a mini excavator and a skid steer. And the mini excavator is just standard with a bucket and a thumb, and that's generally what I use to push over big trees and organize log decks and whatnot. But with the skid steer, I use a few different tools, and for handling all the brush and the logs, I've got a grapple bucket on it. And then for doing all the chipping of the brush, I use a brush bucket or a masticator. I'll show you the masticator. So this is a 72-inch diamond drum mulcher. It mounts on the skid steer, and it, essentially what it does is it grinds all the small stuff up. So this is what I've done in this area. I cut all the trees, all the dead trees down, made the log decks, and I left all the brush on the ground, and then I came over with the skid steer and the masticator and just ground everything up. And it doesn't get everything. You can go, you can spend a lot of time grinding into the ground, but the main goal is just to reduce the fuel load. So that's what you want to focus on is if a fire comes through here, what's it going to do? And here's a before and after. So this is the property line right here. So all of this property looked just like that. So this is what I'm talking about with small diameter trees. It just gets so thick you can't even move through there. So the crew that came in first cut all that small stuff down, and they made little piles, and they burned all those little piles. So then after that was done, then I come in and take out the big stuff, and then I just chip everything. So this is a good before and after look. anyway, this is an example, of what one person can do, with a couple pieces of equipment. The work, it's definitely physically demanding, and it is super dangerous, but it's necessary now because of the fire danger is so bad out here. So I'll be making some more videos about all this kind of work and showing you the progress of these jobs. And I just moved to another area of the property which is steeper and has even more dead trees, so I'll show you that later. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna get to work. I got the Bobcat warming up, and it was frozen to the ground yesterday, so I guess we'll see how it is today. All right, this is the next section of the property I've been working on, and I spent the last couple days just coming in here, dropping all the hazard trees, and as you can see, they end up hung up and laying everywhere. It creates a ton of work and a big mess, but this is kind of just the second stage after the small stuff's been done. And one thing about this small stuff, man, if you're ever going to do this, just cut these to the ground, because there are hundreds if not thousands of these all over the ground here. See, there's a bunch, and I keep tripping over them. The machine hits them. It's really annoying. Anyway, just cut those to the ground. So anyway, the plan is to what I do is I use the excavator and a chain, and I just chain up to the butt end of the logs, and I pull them onto the ground, and then I process them that way. So I'll show you some stuff while I'm doing that. Anyway, here's my excavator. It's a KX121 Kubota. It's a good machine. All right, I'll let that warm up, and I'm gonna get after it. Alrighty, so just finished up this little section, and this was probably 5 or 6 trees. Couple big dogs, and this one was heavy. That's a nice tree. It's good wood in there. So what I'd like to do is stack the logs, organize that, and then I'll kind of stack the brush or just scatter it around. And then when I come back through with the grinder, I can just hit these piles and grind them up. And kind of goes for all this stuff. I'll just come in here and start grinding all this down, and it'll all get mashed into the dirt and kind of go away. So anyway, we got, 2 good size log decks. It's looking good. And I'm just gonna head down the line. So there's a few more good sized trees in here, and then I got to work up this way. There's, I don't know, over 100 plus up in here that I took down yesterday. All right, back to it. All right, well, that's going to wrap it out for today. Kind of show you what's going on. Cleaned out that gully. Got all the logs out of the trees. And then work my way up through here. Brush piles. Log decks. So that's the program. And next week I'll pick up on the rest of this stuff. Well, I hope this gives you a good idea of an approach you can take to help minimize the risk of wildfire in your property, by kind of taking a step-by-step approach. First with the thinning of the small diameter, and then coming back and removing all the dead trees in the large diameter, and then dealing with the brush and whatnot. So anyway, well, thanks for your time, and I'll continue with this project and keep you updated. All right, have a good rest of your day.